Hey everybody, it is Chuck Barone on Tuesday, April the 2nd, 2024, here at the bunker in Henderson. A beautiful day in Vegas today, guys. Wow, 75 degrees, beautiful sunny skies. Spring is in the air, man. Hopefully, with it will come a little bit of sanity in these freaking markets. Am I right? God, a lot of stuff to talk about today, but before I get started, let me take a second, as always, welcome everybody to the show. As always, thank you guys for your support. You guys being here, just going back and forth with me in the comments, asking your questions, man. We really appreciate you guys. We're glad to be here every day for you. All right, so let's talk about these crazy ass markets today. Now, I was telling you guys when everybody was coming up with roses, champagne and roses, I was telling you guys I just didn't see things working out the way they were saying. And I explained why then, how it's going to be really difficult for the Fed to get as many cuts in as the market had priced in. And the market still was just refusing to believe it. They always want to take a turd and somehow polish it into a gold bar. Anyway, it's not working. So now the market's coming back to reality. And what a wild and crazy day it was today, guys. Let's talk about this. So the stock market today just completely tanked like it did yesterday. The Dow falls 396 points today, so another almost 400-point loss, just like yesterday. 39,170. The Nasdaq falls 156 points, a pretty big fall for the Nasdaq, sitting at 16,240. The S&P 500 falls 37 points, sitting at 5,205 points. So no more record stock markets today, just reality of they're not going to get the rate cuts they want. The economy is a little bit, even though it's kind of a weird deal, right? You would think with the economy showing resilience and some strength and companies earning like they are, you would think that the stock market would be happy. But with all those rate cuts factored in there, the greed motive, right? They're figuring the companies are going to earn even more, so they were bidding prices up. Now reality sets in, down they come. The bond market today was a weird day in the bond market too, right? So the 10-year sells off, goes up 3 basis points, sitting at 4.36%. The 2-year, on the other hand, investors buying in 2 years, they actually fall 2 basis points, sitting at 4.70%. So you got the bond market as confused as everybody else, apparently, staying away from the longer term stuff. And there's some fear there in the bond market that, even if they cut rates, the Fed can only cut overnight rates. And that affects the shorter term stuff. The longer term stuff, when you get 10 years and beyond, and you have the US Treasury in there borrowing trillions and trillions and trillions of dollars, there's some fear that even if the Fed cuts short term rates, longer term rates will stay higher and you'll get a steeper yield curve, right? So the bond market making some adjustments. We'll be there to keep you guys posted on that too. The dollar today falls a little bit, down 22 basis points on the index. Still strong, 104.79 on the dollar. There's a lot of strength there. It's interesting that you're seeing the dollar be extra strong at the same time gold and silver rallying. Usually it's the opposite. The dollar's falling, gold and silver rallying, or the dollar rallying, gold and silver falling, right? This time around, you're seeing them both strengthen, which is kind of an odd thing right now, but it is what it is. So the dollar's still sitting strong. Precious metals today had another great day. Wow, look at this. So gold breaks the record. Yay, gold. Plus $26.80 today. A big jump for gold. Closing, well, the last time I looked, I don't think the market's closed yet. Sitting at $2,278.90 for an ounce of gold. Amazing, well over 10% gain for the year on gold. Silver up $1. Boom, now $26.16. I'm going to talk about silver a little later, but I've been telling you guys, I think silver is really going to be a big rally. Silver is the working man's metal. Gold is expensive. People that only have hundreds of dollars to invest can buy silver, not so much with gold, and you're going to see silver continue to rally. You have oil today up again. my nemesis here, up $1.51 per barrel, sitting at $85.22 for a barrel of West Texas Intermediate. This is a number that's way, way, way too high. It's, of course, the reason it's there, right? It's up high right now. Number one, you got the spring driving season coming. Oil's always a little bit higher. The most important reason right now for these spikes is violence in the Middle East, man. Now you got Israel blowing up, a consulate in Syria, killing some Iranians. Now you know that's going to put pressure on oil and the shipping in the Red Sea, and it makes a big mess, right? Makes a big mess of it. That's why you're seeing spikes in oil. If they can ever get things settled down over there, which that's anybody's guess, you're going to see oil come down pretty dramatically, I would think. Bitcoin today continuing its correction. Attila, my man, thank you. Down $3,438 on Bitcoin today, sitting at 66,031. If you're holding Bitcoin, I tell you, don't be shook up by this. What Bitcoin's doing right now is kind of consolidating, shaking out the weaker holders. The people who bought in at 35 or 40 and now saw it spike to 70 want to get some profits out. Not long-term holders. I don't think this is the end of the Bitcoin rally. I don't believe that. I think these ETFs are really changing the market for these cryptos, and it's only going to continue to get bigger and bigger and more mainstream. Still plenty of room, I think, to the upside for all cryptos, not just Bitcoin. All right, so let's talk about some crazy stuff today. I did a little bit of research. I was checking some stuff out. It's a quiet day for data today. So I wanted to at least give you guys something to ponder and, something interesting over the day. Listen to this, guys. United States of America now becoming the home of the $1 million house. It's just crazy, crazy, crazy. New data shows, listen to this, guys. New data shows that there are now more than 550 cities in the U.S. with a median price for a house more than $1 million. Did you catch that? 550 cities, the houses are more than $1 million. It's, of course, New York and California are the big culprits, right? But it's Jersey, Florida, Texas. It's spreading now. It sucks, okay? Because it's freezing out the home buyer, the regular, the young families getting started, first-time home buyers, even single people, first-time home buyers coming to the reality that if they want to buy a house, they better hurry up and do it. Rates be damned, because prices are just going to continue to rise. It is what it is. Crazy, crazy 550 cities. It's nuts, guys, okay? Almost half of Americans are unable to afford a $500 emergency without borrowing money. How are these people supposed to ever afford a house? Now, you've heard me say 1,000,000 times on this show, I'm a big believer in owning a home. I really am. I believe it is the foundation of generational wealth. That's where if you're not going to be a famous surgeon or a writer or a movie star or whatever, and make your millions, a rapper or whatever, musician, you're going to make your millions like that. No, if you're going to do it the old-fashioned way, real estate's going to be a big part of it. And the house you own is going to be a big part of it. The house, I've lived in my house now more than 20 years. I tell you this, it's more than tripled in value, which is an absurdity to me, but I guess I'll take the benefit of that, right? It's the foundation of it all, guys, because this is where you can make your money quietly. You don't have access to it like you do in a savings account or your bank, or even a stock brokerage account where you can get to the money quickly if you want to find a way to spend it. Houses are more difficult to get the money from. The money grows quietly, but it continues to just grow and grow. People who bought houses over the past few years, I can't tell you how many people I had come to my office, put 3.5% down on a house, and now I'm sitting on $150,000 in equity in their house. There's nothing else that I know that can make people wealthier than owning your own home, right? Now they're taking that away. It seems to me like, I hate to say they, okay? We know who they are. But they're finding and taking out every single avenue regular working people have to any kind of real wealth. The institutions, private equity groups, banks, the Wall Street money is buying up every single low cheap house in this country. They're buying them all. They're paying cash for them. It's driving the prices up because they don't care what they pay. They're not using their own money. They're not looking to haggle. Driving prices to the moon. I'm telling you guys, this is a tragedy. It's the end of the American dream, at least the American dream I grew up with. You work hard, you own a house, you get a retirement, you actually get to have a life that's other than working and running nonstop just to pay bills. I've talked about that a million times on the show too. The debt trap. They want to get everybody into it. They don't want slaves. They want debt slaves, where basically your entire existence is to work just to pay bills that are already there before you even do anything with your life. These are just fixed bills for rent, for your car, for blah, 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 blah. It adds up. People basically working to do nothing more than pay these bills and maybe have a Friday night with their boyfriend or their girlfriend for a dinner somewhere and a couple of drinks. It is really, really, really horrifying, guys. I tell you this, if you have an opportunity to buy a house soon, do it. If rates come down, you can. Now, no rates suck right now, but if rates come down, you can refi the lower rate. If rates go up, you're going to be in a great spot. If you can find a way, do it, guys. I tell you now, the door on this seems to be closing for ordinary people. And there's going to come a day where we're going to look back and we're going to have people, two separate segments of society, people who own property and people who don't, throw back to the 1700s, right? A sad thing, man. 550 cities where you got to spend $1 million to buy a house. And these are not mansions, okay? It's not like you're going to spend $1 million and you're getting, 10,000 square feet with an in-ground pool or indoor pool even or whatever. No, it's a regular house. Crazy, crazy times. A couple quick hitters before we go. In addition to owning a house, okay, homeowners insurance, which used to be kind of an afterthought when you bought a house. I think when I bought my house, it was about $400 a year, significantly higher now. But because of all the natural disasters, fires in California, earthquakes, hurricanes, tornadoes, lots of big damages on buildings and houses, homeowners insurance is up to the roof. Will average this year to $2,500 per year. So now in addition to your mortgage, the homeowners insurance used to be $50 a month, now more than $200 a month. Interesting, I was reading about Tesla today. Tesla not making their numbers on deliveries in the first quarter, actually missing pretty big. What do you guys think? Is it the end of Tesla? Because their stock tanking pretty hard, or is it an opportunity to get in Tesla? Interesting, because as we all know, there's been a little bit of pushback now on electric vehicles. Detroit getting their butt kicked, trying to figure out whether they're in or out. They were all in. Now they're kind of trying to figure it out. I don't know. Tesla's never been one of my favorites. I would like to see cars be electric. I think we should have went from gas to hybrid to electric, but it eased the transition, I think, a little bit. But politicians don't think like we do. They're not normal. So I don't know. I just think it's interesting. Tesla at a crossroads for sure. I was reading an interesting article today about silver. Analysts now predicting the next big boom in precious metals will be silver. They see prices this year between $35 and $50 per ounce. Well, that's a pretty big jump from $26 where it is today. The reason, they say, number one, precious metals being desirable right now. You're seeing gold jump. Now they're calling silver, they always find the way to market it, right? Now silver is the poor man's gold. Okay, the poor man's gold, but up $1 today. And I'm telling you guys, I believe this. I've been telling you, I think silver's got a big run in it. It's going to happen. Here we go, right? Analysts now, I get there sometimes a little before they do. But here comes the mainstream now, going to pile into silver. You're going to see it start to move. Stock market starting to cut back on their interest rate expectations. It was just a very short time ago. Everybody thought March was going to be the first cut. Then they moved it to June. Everybody was on board with that. Now just 50%, 57% of the people, the analysts they talk to, believe the first rate cut will come in June. Let's see. This was interesting. Forbes says the world now has 2,781 billionaires, 2,781 billionaires with a combined net worth of these less than 3,000 people, $14 trillion. $14 trillion. 3,000 people share it. The big guy, Arnault from France, he's the Louis Vuitton, Moet, Dom Perignon, fancy stuff. Dior, worth 233 billion. Elon Musk, 195 billion. His partner in crime, Bezos, 194 billion. The size of these fortunes is just unfreaking real, okay? But here we sit. And lastly, I'm already babbling way over time. Just this one last thing. Have you seen this article about what's happening in New York City? Guys, the world's getting really off its rocker. Random assholes punching women in the head, in the face or the head. This is happening now more and more. It's just a random violence. A woman will be just looking in a window or walking down a street, and some guy going to come up and just punch her in the face or punch her in the back of the head or hit her and then run away. There's no rhyme or reason to it. There's no political statement being made. There's no nothing. It's just random violence against women in general in New York City. Now, what in the hell is that all about? I'm feeling pissy today. I think I'll go punch me a woman in the face. What the hell, man? Guys, signs of the apocalypse are, we keep reading more and more of them, right? Anyway, that's it for the day. I'm already well over 17 minutes. We appreciate you guys being here. We appreciate your support. If you can, please hit the like button. It helps our algorithms. If we're getting more and more views, I appreciate that. We appreciate you guys. I'll be on comments today. Hit me up. And as always, I'll get into some of this stuff here too. Always good, guys. See you tomorrow.